Welcome to 4 Minutes Closer to God. My name is Doug. Last time I talked about robes of glory because Adam and Eve likely had robes of glory that just winked out when they sinned. And Moses, when he came down off the mountain with God, had radiated his glory from just passing through him, and they put on a veil in order to keep people from seeing it dim. And then Jesus on the Mount of Transfiguration had the glorification shown to Peter, James, and John. And so we have those three examples, but I believe as one way to look at salvation, it's the recovery of that lost glory. And so when Adam and Eve sinned in the garden, they lost the garden. And God is now in earnest trying to get us back to the garden. Well, the garden was Eden, but it was also on a mountain. That's where gods lived, on mountains back then. And so we have God who will reconvene the assembly of his people on the mountain where we can become his family once we have regained the glory. And so God's point in our salvation through justification by faith, understanding the grace of God allows that, then the sanctification by faith, which grace also allows or helps us along with, and then finally the glorification. So we have this rubric of salvation under which we have justification of spirit, sanctification of soul, and glorification of body. And so we are able to restore the glory. And so Proverbs 25:2 says, it is the glory of God to hide or conceal a matter, and the glory of kings to search it out. Well, what are we but kings now? And so God will allow us to search out the riches of his Bible with the help of the Holy Spirit and his grace. And my thinking is that the glorification that we will experience is part of getting back to the Garden of Eden the way it was supposed to be. And so we will come full circle, being in heaven on earth, in New Jerusalem. And so that is seen in 2 Corinthians 3:18. Now, the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And we all, having been unveiled on the face, like Moses having his face veiled, beholding as in a mirror the glory of the Lord, are being transformed into the same image from glory to glory, even as from the Lord who is the Spirit. 2 Corinthians 3:18 is our hope, and I believe that that's another way to look at salvation, is restoring the glory, regaining that glorification that Adam and Eve had, that Moses and Jesus showed, and we will be able to obtain that once we are in heaven. But up until now, we just have to radiate the glory that God passes through us in our current lives until he comes again. If you would like and subscribe and give me a thumbs up, that would be great.